Well, good morning. It is Thursday. We hope this week is going good for you. No, we hope it's going very, very good for you. That's what we're all about, your daily feel-good podcast. Start your day positive with Len and Sarah. We have a really fun podcast for you today. First of all, you'll never say that Chick-Fil-A doesn't listen to its customers. You spoke, and they made a big change. We'll tell you about that.
And we all have our favorite brands. A new survey lists the most popular brands in America. Guess who was number one?
What's old is new again. Gen Z has rediscovered something most of us have left to gather dust on our shelves, and it's the best prize ever. We talk about Squeaky Clean NEO, great local cleaning company. Your chance to win a house cleaning is coming up. And of course, on Thursday, we always have to take a moment and talk about our Wednesday Stump Day question. It's always fun. We play Stump Day every Wednesday. We've connected with a great partner, Daisy Cakes, Daisy Pops, and we're going to give away 24 Daisy Pops. But yesterday's question, it was a good one. It was a fun one.
Okay, so the question was, young people are 4 times more likely to do this compared to older people. What is it?
What's interesting is when you asked the question, I didn't know the answer yet. I wanted to try to figure it out. And I actually thought it was ride a roller coaster.
Let me read again. Young people are 4 times more likely to do this compared to older people. Okay, yeah,
because when you get older,
works.
You're saying, I can't ride those coasters anymore. So I thought that was it, but that's not it.
No, the answer, keep their phone on mute.
Oh, wow.
This is so accurate.
Yeah.
So accurate. My ringer's never on my phone, ever. My phone is on mute 100% of the time.
Are you putting yourself in the category then of the younger people?
Yes, because it's older. I think everyone my age does, but anyone older than me, they always have their phone ringing.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I thought you were talking like teenagers or something.
Well, they don't either. They don't have their phone ringing either.
Yeah.
But like my husband's doesn't ring. I don't ring. Most people do. Like yours rings, right?
It does. It does. I especially had it up when I had like to answer some family stuff. Not as much now. I'll mute her a little bit more now for sure. But I know exactly what you're talking about. And a lot of people who are a little bit older have a tendency to have their ring be like their own home phone.
Oh, that it sounds like.
It's
yes.
really loud.
Well, I will say back in the day, it was like when we first started getting cell phones, it was like the cool thing to have different songs for different people.
Oh, ringtones, yeah.
Ringtones. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. So depending on who the person was, you wanted them to have their own special ringtone, right?
Yeah, I thought I was so cool. Remember the show 24?
Yeah.
Okay, I loved the show 24 back when it first came out.
Uh-huh.
And I found the ringtone when they used to answer the phones. Doo 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 doo. Anyone who watches the show knows that. Doo 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 doo. You know, there's, in the compound.
Yeah.
I had that as my ringtone. So when people call, it sound like the 24 phones. And I just.
Yeah.
I remember thinking I was the coolest when I figured how to do that.
So I think the only reason
must have been like in the early 2000s, or
I think the only reason the ringtones are out is because people have their phones on mute, right?
I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because that was fun.
And do you remember ringbacks?
Oh yes, that was for people that don't know, ringbacks were.
So when you're calling someone, instead of it ringing, a song. You could customize a song to play. Wow. Like you're calling the doctor's office or something, when you're waiting on hold. It was like a ringback song.
Yep.
I even did that. I was on the cutting edge of technology.
I'm a pretty chill person, a pretty relaxed person. Not too many things bother me, but that ringtone that sounds like your regular house phone, it's just too much.
Well, what is your ringtone?
You know what? I try to pick the mildest, least disruptive one as I can, like a couple of dings. A couple of dings let me know that I have a call. Do you think there's anything about our phones, we use them now, where the next generation will say, I can't believe that? Like a good example would be right now, I think people feel obliged to respond to texts really quickly.
I do. And that part I don't love.
So that's similar,
So
right?
I'm getting better at not feeling like I have to respond to a text right away.
You're doing bulks now. I notice I'll text you, and then all of a sudden, boom, I get 8 responses. But it's later in the day. So I think you set time aside maybe to reply.
Well, because I know that when I open up your texts, there's going to be 6 or 7 of them and a couple videos.
That's a fact.
And I'm like, if I open it up and I'm getting in the car,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't respond to that right now. You know what I mean? I don't have time to digest all of this information.
Where's the number one place I am that I text you where the texts aren't really that important at all? At the grocery store. I always text you at the grocery store because I see things in the store that I think are interesting. So I take a picture of it and I send it to you.
That's true. Maybe we should just create the Start Your Day Positive group text and everyone can experience Len text.
You know what? If enough people give some feedback here, I'll do that. I'll be glad to text people because I'm always like yesterday. You were talking on an episode of the podcast about we need 30 grams of protein a day. You were talking about that. So I'm going through the store and I go,
no, 30 grams of fiber.
Yeah, but you need 30 grams of protein too, right?
Every meal.
Okay, so I just saw there was a giant container of powdered whey protein, and I just randomly took a picture of it and sent it to you, and I said, here's your protein.
I know, but I didn't get what you were saying. He just sent me a random giant picture of a thing of protein and said, you're never going to run out of protein. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I happened to be eating a steak right then, and I texted him back, and I said, I think I'm good.
Very important texting. Life-changing
very
text going on here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start the day with a positive thought. How about that? If you feel like you're having a not so awesome day, try to refrain yourself. Try this instead. Instead of saying, ugh, I'm having such a bad day, tell yourself, I'm having a character building day.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Having a character building day.
And sometimes we have a lot of those, sometimes not as many, but that's good.
There you go.
All right, well, let's go with 3 things your friends and family might be talking about today. Well, you can't say that Chick-Fil-A doesn't listen to its customers. The chain has rolled back a 2024 recipe change to its iconic waffle fries after fans complained about the taste and the texture. The company had added pea starch to help the fries stay crisper longer, but loyal customers quickly pushed back on social media saying they could taste the difference. Now Chick-fil-A confirms the fries no longer contain pea starch, returning closer to that original recipe first introduced in 1985 with those waffle fries that you love. Hey, this is wild. A 3,300-year-old Egyptian scroll is making headlines again after researchers took a fresh look at a curious description inside of it. The ancient text, known as Papyrus Anastasi I, describes a group of people called the Shosu, saying some of them were 4 cubits or 5 cubits tall, which translated is nearly 8 feet. That would have been extremely tall in the ancient world. The recovered detail is sparking a curious debate about whether stories of ancient giants found in the Bible and other ancient texts may, of course, have real-life inspiration.
Well, there are some brands that we just have total confidence in. Someone says the name of a product, and you say, yep, I love it. A new YouGov survey listed America's most popular brands in terms of the percentage of people who say, I have a positive opinion about that brand. Well, here are the top 6. Coming in at 6, it's Dawn dishwashing liquid. 5 is Lysol. 4 is Kit Kat. 3 M&M's. 2 Heinz ketchup. And 1 Band-Aids.
You know, Band-Aid makes a lot of sense. It would be hard not to have a positive opinion about Band-Aids. They come through when you need them the most. Well,
I think, and even if there's a different brand of a Band-Aid is all bandages to me.
Fair.
Just like give me a Kleenex is any type of tissue.
Yeah.
There are some brands who are so dominant, maybe because they were the first, that I will forever call everything that. No,
I think most people are that way. Do you remember there was a competitive brand of Band-Aids for a while. See, I called it a Band-Aid right there. Curad. Do you remember a Cure ad?
I've seen those boxes. Are they not around anymore?
They may be, but...
I mean, I think they make generic versions. Like if you go to Drug Mart, there's probably a Drug Mart version.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would still buy it, and I would just call it a Band-Aid.
No, you're right. Different ones, like Dawn's dishwashing liquid. Do you remember when they really cut through?
No, I think I'm thinking of the Palmolive commercial.
Yeah, Dawn cut through when there was an oil spill. I think it was in the Gulf. Okay. And there was some wildlife that got oil all over them.
I do remember this.
Yeah, and they were able to gently apply, and they would just sit there one after one and bathe the seabirds with a mixture of water and Dawn dishwashing liquid. It cut the oil, and they could fly away. So that's pretty good marketing right there.
Yeah, you're right. They broke through with that.
Lysol's always been around, but probably even more so during COVID, I would think.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why it's up there. Kit Kat and M&M's, I guess...
I mean, Kit Kat is give me a break.
Yeah, give me a break. And so you have a positive view of that. Again, that's something, it's pretty hard to have a negative view of Kit Kats.
Right. M&M's are just iconic.
Yeah.
Heinz ketchup.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ketchup.
Yep, for sure. So is there a brand that for you, like you say, oh, I just trust that brand. I have a positive view of that. I think tools. Like if you're a Milwaukee person or a DeWalt person, you would say, oh, yeah, that's the brand.
That's the brand.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have something right off the bat that I could say, oh, I have to have this, and that's
like
all.
That's the brand, right? I have a super positive view. I might kind of feel that way towards Pillsbury a little bit.
Yeah.
I could say Pillsbury. Yeah.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. I have to walk around my house and.
That's because you're a shopper,
sweet.
though.
I'm a shopper. I'm a researcher.
Right.
So.
Right. So.
Not that I don't have brand loyalty. I do, but I'd have to think about it.
Number one right now, Band-Aid.
It makes me feel uplifted. It puts a smile on my face, and I go off to work with a smile on my face for the rest of the day.
Len and Sarah just make us laugh, and I think it's really important. A smile is infectious.
They're fun, they're real, and they're genuine. And it's almost like they become family.
Well, springtime is just around the corner. So is St. Patrick's Day. There's something about this time of year. Longer days, fresh starts, and that reminder of faith that has stood strong for generations.
Yeah, that's right. St. Patrick wasn't just about luck. He was about bold faith. And here in the season of Lent, it's the perfect time to refresh your spirit right along with everything else.
So whether it's a gift for St. Patrick's Day, and they've got them, meaningful faith-centered decor for your home, or a book on something you've been thinking about in your faith journey, we do have the perfect place for you.
Our podcast sponsor, Mosex Christian Gifts and Books. When we say that they have one of the largest selection of Christian books and Bibles and gifts anywhere in the area, it's no exaggeration.
We stopped in and talked with the owners, Joe and Betty, and a lot of people have baby baptisms and confirmations coming up, so we wanted to find out what you could get at Mosex.
Yes, so for confirmation, of course, it's all about the Holy Spirit for baptism and confirmation, but in confirmation we have word crosses and, of course, regular crosses. We have jewelry, picture frames to remember the day, and we also can personalize items. And so you can have the date, you can have the confirmation name, and if you're choosing a saint name for confirmation, a new name that you're using, we have many statues of the saints and medals of the saints. Beautiful. Then for baby baptisms, all kinds of different collections. In these different collections, they'll be matching glitter domes, picture frame, wall crosses, and these are nice things for the baby's room, colorful and God-centered.
And they've got a really cool section with items just dedicated to the real St. Patrick.
I love that they carry things that actually point back to the real meaning of St. Patrick, devotion, courage, and sharing your faith.
One more thing, if you've been wondering in the area where you can get church supplies, if you have a responsibility in your church or parish for that, Mosex.
Mosex Christian Gifts and Books, right across from the Great Lakes Mall in Mentor, or you can browse anytime at mosex.com.
Whoa, tick-tock, woo, the time goes so fast. It happened today, let's remember. Hey.
Well, today is March 5th, and we're taking you back in time.
Okay, let's go way, way back. 1558 is the year that's given for the year that tobacco was introduced to Europe. This is fascinating. Do you know that they did not smoke in Europe for thousands of years? When Christopher Columbus and the other explorers arrived in the Americas, they encountered indigenous people using tobacco for medicinal and ceremonial purposes. So tobacco was brought back to Europe by the explorers, and it quickly became a novelty in Europe, and the rest is smoking history.
So smoking was not like just a habit they did all day long then for the indigenous people, right? Right. It would maybe But then,
in the evening after, it's like someone smoking a pipe today after dinner or for a ceremony or something.
And then when it was brought to Europe, it got more...
Eventually, it just became a novelty. It's like, okay, we've been here thousands of years and we've never seen this before. Isn't that strange?
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Uh-huh.
Well, have you heard this famous expression, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself? It was spoken on this day in 1933 when Franklin Roosevelt delivered his first inaugural address, reassuring Americans during the Great Depression. Now, an analysis of famous speeches and quotations arguably listed the top 5 most memorable, and you can see if you agree with these, okay? So, of course, the one I just mentioned, but to be or not to be, that is the question. Do you remember who that is?
Oh, I know who that is, but I don't really know what that means. That's Shakespeare.
Yeah, William Shakespeare, to be or not
What's
to
that
be,
mean?
that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question, I guess.
I mean, to be, I don't know, to be who you are, to be, I don't know. I have a dream, Martin Luther King Jr.,
Of course.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, of course, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Uh-huh.
Be the change you wish to see in the world, Gandhi. And don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened, Dr. Seuss.
That's a nice one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss has some really great ones.
Yes, and he even pulled it off without rhyming there. I like that. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. And, of course, there's myriads of great quotes, of course, from the Bible attributed to Jesus, etc., but those weren't included in this survey. But those are great. I have a dream. Epic. But right now I'm drawn to that Dr. Seuss quote.
I know. I feel like I like that one enough. Yeah, I think I would have to pick that one. I've never been a big fan of the only thing to fear is fear itself because I don't know.
Just says fear too many times.
I don't know. I feel like it sounds a little dismissive of,
okay. I see.
Actual things. Like fear is a genuine feeling.
Yes.
We feel fear as humans.
That's right.
So you shouldn't feel a natural emotion. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, that's fair. I'm sure some people were
probably
during
way
that great
too deep.
during that great radio speech. I'm sure that some people said, "Oh yeah," and probably other people. A wife turned to her husband and said, "Honey, he doesn't know what we're going through right now."
Yeah, exactly. There was a lot going on during that time.
Well, this happens to me all the time at the store. It just happened the other day. The cashier at the store asked this question, would you like to round up? It happens to me at so many stores, either on the digital screen or with someone working at the store. Would you like to round up? We didn't have any bread. So I grabbed a loaf of bread and I thought I'm going to pay in cash. And I got the cheapest bread you could get. It was only like $1.98. That's a cheap loaf of bread, isn't it? That was really cheap.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't check the expiration on it. And they said, we're rounding up today for, I think it was for the local food bank or something like that. And I thought, you know what? I got a 5. There, keep it. I'm rounding up. So if you're ever faced with rounding up, you might say to yourself, man, I'm just being overwhelmed or pressured to round up. Before you say that, I just wanted to tell you, I did a little research on roundups. So the good that you do, like if something costs $2.69 or $2.70 and you round up that 30 cents, or what that does. So here's some big companies that do roundups and what it does, okay? Okay. Dick's Sporting Goods asks customers to round up or donate when you check out to support youth sports through Dick's Sporting Goods Foundation. Just so you know, it has helped a ton of underfunded teams and programs and communities by providing equipment and facility updates that those communities might not necessarily have. Your donations at checkout have resulted in $9.9 million going to youth sports.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is really cool.
Taco Bell, they have seasonal roundups. When they do it, it supports education and development of the Taco Bell Foundation, $52 million in 2025. And it goes to provide college scholarships for hardworking Taco Bell team members.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that a good one? I love that one. This is a big one, and I know this charitable organization is near and dear to your heart. McDonald's invites customers to round up to benefit Ronald McDonald House Charities. They provide housing and meals and support for families with seriously ill children, and 100% of every roundup penny goes directly to Ronald McDonald House.
That's really good. I love that.
Couple of others for people that love animals. Petco's Roundup program supports animal welfare. Last year, Petco distributed over $12 million in grants to shelters, rescues, adoption, and Bob Barker would be proud, spay and neuter services for animals.
Oh, that's great.
And then the last one I wanted to mention was Walmart, a biggie. Walmart, they do several roundups during the year, so it's not a regular thing, but from time to time when you're checking out, you'll be asked if you want to round up. And funds go in large part to either the Children's Miracle Network, which is amazing, or for the group called Feeding America, where tens of millions of dollars are given away every year to help families who are experiencing food insecurity.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, you always figure that it's going to a great cause no matter where you're at.
You do. And I would say sometimes the thought has entered my mind. You know, I'm a regular person like everyone, and I think, wow, is everyone going to start doing the roundup? And you don't always have to do it. But when you do, like you said, you can at least be confident or assured that, hey, it's really helping out, and everyone throwing their 30 or 40 cents when you check out in together means a lot of money and a lot of help.
Lynn and Sarah, start your day positive.
You know, it's interesting how, depending on their context, different words take on different meanings. Like if I'm playing pickleball, I want to stay out of the kitchen. But in real life, I like spending a lot of time in the kitchen.
Oh, I love how you make those transitions. So you like staying in your kitchen, and maybe you don't. Maybe you're ready for a new kitchen that you want to be a part of. Northeast Factory Direct, our sponsor. Let me just tell you that if you have your Pinterest board filled with different kitchen ideas, they're the place to go. And, you know, I've talked to them before, and here's what I love. They have designers who design your kitchen at Northeast Factory Direct, and it's a part of the process. It's absolutely free. So you're already saving money on the cabinets. But they've told me one of the biggest mistakes that people make when redesigning their kitchen is giving up on the features that they really want. Because at Northeast Factory Direct, you don't have to sacrifice that Lazy Susan that you really want. You don't have to sacrifice that pull-out spice drawer or the soft close drawers that you've been dreaming about. You need a designer who knows how to make it all work. And at Northeast Factory Direct, they have one. They have designers who have worked with thousands of families to create the kitchen of their dreams. So, you know, whether you walk in with a vision or you're just starting from scratch, that's okay. They'll help you with your budget and your lifestyle.
Well, I love that. I mean, I'm a do-it-yourselfer, but I'll tell you what, I know when I should turn it over to someone else, and kitchen design is critical. Make sure that they do that. So stop in, get together with them. Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, North Canton, the location nearest you. You can find it at northeastfactorydirect.com. When you go in there, say, Len and Sarah told me to come in and have you help me design my kitchen.
Squeaky Clean NEO, not like every other. Like every other.
Sarah, it's almost springtime. Yeah, because spring cleaning takes on a whole new meaning when you're not doing it yourself. How pumped are you about Squeaky Clean?
I am so pumped. So we know the owner of Squeaky Clean. She's wonderful. She's been a listener of ours for years. And I actually texted her the other day because I'm starting to get that spring cleaning itch. And they also do things like oven cleaning and like, for instance, if you're selling your house and you want to do, you know, this big, huge, deep clean of your whole house, like a lot of people do if they're selling it, they do that too. But I was like, give me your biggest tips on oven cleaning. So she gave me some oven cleaning tips, and she's like, by the way, you can do that as an add-on, Sarah, with us, and we will do the oven and all of that. So they do so much. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, we're just really proud of our association with them because they really are extraordinary. Squeaky Clean NEO.com. And just so you know, here's the type of thing we're talking about: eco-friendly, pet-friendly, non-toxic products. They really care, and they do a great job for your home or your small office. We've got everyone kind of excited and teased. We should give away a house cleaning right now.
Let's do it. How about we give a keyword, and let's make the keyword, because we're talking about spring cleaning. So let's just make it spring cleaning.
Yeah.
That's the keywords. 2 words.
All right. Spring cleaning, and you go to startyourdaypositive.com. There's a thing you'll click on right there, so it's really easy to enter. And everyone that has the keyword will pick a winner, and your spring cleaning will be started thanks to our friends at Squeaky Clean.
Well, thank you so much for listening today. Up for grabs, just a reminder, Squeaky Clean NEO, a free house cleaning, $200 value. Just go to our website, startyourdaypositive.com. Those keywords, 2 words this time, spring cleaning. I mean, who could say, oh no, I don't need any help cleaning?
I will tell you something. I met Sarah, probably our happiest listener, and we have a lot of happy listeners, but I can't remember where I was. I was at a store or something like that, and they come up and said, hey, I just want you to know that my wife won the Squeaky Clean house cleaning, and she is so happy.
Oh, how fun is that? Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
Great. That's great. Well, let's wrap up this episode in prayer. You know, it was interesting early in the podcast. We talked about how at checkouts they ask you if you want to round up or not. We wound up breaking down where the monies go when you round up. Make you feel good about being generous. So let's just say a quick prayer today that God will give us generous hearts and the opportunity to use them as well. Heavenly Father, you've given us so many great gifts, and you've poured out your blessings on us. I pray that you will fill us with generosity and also give us opportunities to share. For some of us, it might be money. For others, it might be time. The whole thing is to be able to give. And so we ask that in Jesus' name, amen.